Master the use of lore to tell captivating tales with deeper meaning. Can you balance your themes and weave a moral into your tales of nature, energy, and spirit? Find out as we learn Allegory, a bidding game for 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, by Calliope Games. In Allegory, you will bid on and collect theme cards to write your 3 tales. In the end, you will score only the tale with the lowest total value, as well as scoring sets of themes and bonus points that you'll earn from including your hidden moral into each tale. The player at the end of the game with the most points will be the winner. To set up the game, if you're playing with 2 or 3 players, you'll then remove all of the cards from the theme and moral decks that feature the butterfly, the mask, and the coin icons with the glow in the top left and bottom right, returning them to the box. If you're playing with 4 or more players, then you'll make sure to leave them all in. Next, you'll want to shuffle the moral cards and deal 1 to each player. Take a look at it, but keep it hidden from the other players until the end of the game. For a slightly less competitive game, you could return 1 copy of each moral card to the box before dealing them out. All leftover moral cards are then returned to the box. Now, lay out 1 theme card per player face up in a line in the center of the table. This is called the inspiration pool. Place the remaining theme cards in a draw deck beside the inspiration pool. At the start of the game, everyone will receive 15 lore chips and a rest marker, which they'll keep in front of them. During the game, your lore chips must be visible, but you aren't required to tell others how many you have. Return any leftover lore chips and rest markers to the box. Then leave room in front of you to collect cards into 3 tales: nature, energy, and spirit. Each theme card represents a dichotomy that will bring your tales to life. On one end is the positive aspect, and on the other is the negative aspect. The colored thematic marking in the top and bottom right show you which tale the card will belong into. When you add the theme card to a tale, then you can play it either end up. However, only your lowest valued tale will score in the end, so it's important not to focus only on just one tale. In fact, if you don't have at least 1 card in each tale, you can't even win the game. Play begins with the prologue, followed by a series of story rounds. In the prologue round, the youngest player begins by bidding any number of lore chips for the opportunity to claim one of the face-up theme cards in the inspiration pool. Then, going clockwise, players will take turns either outbidding the previous player by at least 1 chip or resting, which means going out for the round. When you bid, just place the chips in front of you, but don't assign them to a specific card. When you rest, place the rest marker out in front of you to show that you've passed for the round, and then immediately take back your lore chips from the previous bids. Then bidding continues until all players, except for 1 player, have rested. The remaining player wins the bid, and they take 1 of the theme cards from the inspiration pool, placing it in front of themselves to start a new tale. Immediately draw a new card and replace the one that was taken. Now comes the point where the game gets exciting. The winner then takes their lore chips that they used to win that bid and assigns them to the cards in the inspiration pool any way that they want. They can split them up evenly between the 2 or load them all up on 1 card. This decision is very important in the story rounds ahead. Now, after the prologue, play continues over a series of story rounds. Starting with the player to the left of the winner of the previous round, story rounds play almost the same as the prologue, except now when a player rests, they're given a new opportunity. Now, players can choose to take the card from the inspiration pool that has the most lore chips on it. If 2 or more cards are tied for the most lore, then the player can choose any of the tied cards. Remember that you don't have to take a card when you rest, but if you do, you can never take a card with no lore on it. Choosing which cards to take is important for a lot of reasons. Besides adding value to your tales, you sometimes need to grab cards that gain you lore chips. In addition to that, you'll want to keep this in mind when scoring bonus sets and matching icons in your tableau. You want your themes that match your hidden moral card in each tale. So then the players will keep going. playing rounds where players bid, rest, win new cards, distribute the winning bids, and add cards to their 3 tails. Once one or more player collects their 10th theme card, finish the current round, and then the game ends and it's time to score. Now, first you're going to want to make sure that you have at least 1 card in each tail, because if you don't, you can't win, and your tails are lost in history. As long as you have at least 1 card in each tail, however, you'll then determine each tail's total value by adding and subtracting its card's values. Only the lowest total is scored. And if 2 or more have the same total value, only one of them is going to count for you. Next, look for sets matching the theme icons across your tails. For every set of 3 matching icons, whether they're in the same tail or not, you'll gain an additional 2 points. And finally, you'll reveal your hidden moral card that you were dealt at the start of the game. For each tail that features at least 1 card matching the theme of your hidden moral, you'll gain a point. This means that you can gain up to 3 points for your moral bonus if all 3 tails contain at least 1 theme matching the moral. Total up the points from your lowest valued tail, any 3 matching themes, and your moral bonus to get your final score. The player with the highest score will win the game. And if there's a tie, the tied player with the most remaining lore chips will win. If there's still a tie, the tied players share the victory and tell an epic tale together. And now you know how to play Allegory, designed by my friend Zach Weissman and illustrated by David Cornish, published by Calliope Games. Thanks so much for watching, and be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming!